Have you ever heard the inspiring story of Prophet Yusuf? A tale as old as time itself, a narrative interwoven with favoritism, jealousy, deception, resilience, and redemption. Let's delve into the early life of Prophet Yusuf and unravel the beginnings of his extraordinary journey. Born into a lineage of prophets, Yusuf was the son of Prophet Yaqub, also known as Jacob. He was blessed with exceptional beauty and wisdom, attributes that set him apart from his 11 brothers. Yusuf was his father's favorite, a favoritism that was apparent to all, and this preferential treatment sowed seeds of jealousy and resentment among his brothers. The bonds of brotherhood began to fray, replaced by a growing animosity fueled by envy. One day, this simmering resentment boiled over. Yusuf's brothers, blinded by their jealousy, hatched a sinister plot to rid themselves of the brother they perceived as their father's favorite. Their plan was as cruel as it was drastic. They decided to cast Yusuf into a well, a desolate and dark abyss, and then return to their father with a fabricated tale of a wolf devouring their beloved brother. The innocence of youth, lost in the face of envy, led them down a path of deceit and betrayal. Abandoned and alone, Yusuf found himself in the depths of a well, a victim of his brother's jealousy. His cries echoed in the emptiness, a chilling testament to the cruelty of his predicament. Yet even in the face of such despair, Yusuf held on to his faith, trusting in the divine plan of Allah. Upon returning home, his brothers spun a tale of tragedy, feigning grief and sorrow. Their father, devastated by the alleged loss of his favorite son, was left in a sea of despair, his heart heavy with the weight of his loss. A seemingly cruel act, a life seemingly over, but destiny had other plans. The story of Prophet Yusuf, however, was just beginning. Little did his brothers know, their act of cruelty was merely a catalyst for a series of events that would change the course of Yusuf's life forever. Imagine being sold into slavery in a foreign land. Would you lose hope? This was the reality for Prophet Yusuf, who found himself in Egypt, far from the familiar surroundings of his homeland. A group of travelers, stumbling upon the well where Yusuf was abandoned, decided to take him along on their journey. The bustling markets of Egypt were a stark contrast to his quiet life back home. Amid the din and clamor of the slave market, Yusuf was sold to a man named Potiphar, a high-ranking Egyptian official. Despite the drastic change in his circumstances, Yusuf held fast to his faith. He didn't allow the bitterness of betrayal or the harsh reality of slavery to corrode his spirit. Instead, he embraced his situation with resilience and integrity, embodying the teachings of his faith in every action and decision he made. In adversity, Yusuf found strength in his faith. His story serves as a reminder that faith can be a beacon of hope, even in the darkest of times. What happens when a person's integrity is put to the test? In the heart of Egypt, Yusuf's virtue was put to a severe trial. The wife of Potiphar, the high-ranking official who owned Yusuf, made advances towards him. Despite the circumstances, Yusuf didn't falter. He held on to his moral compass tightly, reminding us of the importance of ethical conduct. His refusal was firm, his integrity unwavering. But integrity often comes with a price. In Yusuf's case, it was a false accusation. Potiphar's wife, scorned and humiliated, claimed Yusuf had wronged her, and so, without a fair trial or a chance to defend himself, Yusuf was thrown into prison. However, even within the cold, harsh confines of his cell, Yusuf's faith and integrity continued to shine brightly. He held on to his belief in divine justice, his character unblemished by the injustice he faced. Wrongly accused, unjustly imprisoned, yet Yusuf's faith remained unshaken. How does a prisoner become a powerful minister? In the depths of an Egyptian prison, amid the forgotten and forsaken, a beacon of wisdom and integrity shone brightly. This beacon was none other than Yusuf, a man of faith, who carried an extraordinary gift of interpreting dreams. Word of his unique talent traversed the high prison walls and found its way into the royal palace, reaching the ears of the mighty pharaoh himself. The pharaoh, troubled by a perplexing dream, saw no relief from his court advisors. He heard about Yusuf and his unique ability, and he called upon him, a prisoner, to decode the mystery that clouded his mind. Yusuf interpreted the pharaoh's dream, unraveling it as a prophecy foretelling 7 years of prosperity followed by 7 years of severe famine. His interpretation was not just an elucidation of the dream, but a roadmap for survival. Yusuf advised storing surplus grain during the years of prosperity to use during the famine, demonstrating foresight and strategic leadership. The pharaoh, impressed by Yusuf's wisdom and acumen, saw in him a leader capable of steering Egypt through the impending crisis. From the cold shackles of prison, Yusuf rose to the warm embrace of power, appointed by the pharaoh as a high-ranking minister. But this was not just any ministerial post. Yusuf was entrusted with the responsibility of managing Egypt's resources, a task of monumental importance given the forthcoming famine. Yusuf's wisdom shone through his leadership. He effectively managed the resources during the years of prosperity, storing surplus grain, just as he had advised, and when the famine arrived, Egypt was prepared. Under Yusuf's management, the country not only survived the devastating famine but thrived, becoming a beacon of hope for surrounding nations. From prisoner to minister, Yusuf's journey was a testament to his faith and wisdom. His rise to power was not a product of ambition, but a manifestation of his unwavering faith, his unyielding integrity, and his ability to lead with wisdom and foresight. This is the story of Yusuf, a prisoner who became a powerful minister, and a testament to the divine plan of Allah. What does it take to forgive those who have wronged you? Picture this. Yusuf, now a man of power and influence, standing before his brothers, the very same brothers who, out of jealousy, had cast him into a well and left him for dead. They'd come to Egypt, desperate and hungry, unaware that the brother they'd wronged was the one who held their fate in his hands. Yet, when faced with this moment of reckoning, Yusuf chose forgiveness over revenge. You see, Yusuf had learned that life's trials and tribulations, while challenging, often lead us to our ultimate destiny. He understood that his hardships had not been in vain, but were part of a greater plan. His journey taught him patience, resilience, and the power of forgiveness. In the end, Yusuf's story teaches us about patience, resilience, forgiveness, and the divine wisdom of Allah's plan.